Hello, my name is Kevellin Sanders from Amanda Gresky's English 102 class, and this is my video presentation on military families' extreme work and extreme work families during the Iraqi War. At first glance, the U.S. military appears to be a model of rigidity rather than flexibility. There are strong incentives to address the work-family concerns of a service member and their families. From a work-family perspective, military service generates substantial structural, energy, psychological, and behavioral tensions with family life. My main research for this project was interviewing friends and family that I know that have had or do have military family currently serving in the war in Iraq. The first interview I conducted was with 19-year-old Eric Dickout from Sterling, Massachusetts, here at Coastal studying accounting. The second interview was with Bree Smith, an 18-year-old computer systems major and also a resident here in South Carolina. The next interview I conducted was with Daryl Moore, an exercise science major who's 18 from Fort Mill, South Carolina. The next interview I conducted was with Clayton Wynn, an 18-year-old Beaufort, South Carolina resident here at Coastal studying middle-level education. And last but not least, I have Brianna Dinkins from Sumter, South Carolina here at Coastal studying psychology, and she's 20 years old. And also, she has a brother who is currently fighting in the war against Iraq and will be home in a matter of days.
Yes, my brother, and he is in the Army.
Yeah, my father is a United States Marine.
Although the U.S. military had already implemented extensive programs, policies, and practices to support families prior to current conflicts, the war and demographic changes have spurred the development of innovative new models far outside previous boundaries of military workforce flexibility.
It would just be constant worrying about their health and safety and whether they'd return okay or not.
While interviewing Eric, I realized that he had never had a family member serve during the Iraq War. So I thought, why not keep his answers and compare him to someone who has?
We tried to throw a celebration as a going away event that was an epic fail because everyone started crying. And my aunt's like, she wanted it to be a celebration because she knew that she was coming back. And the emotions that it took everybody through, it was very heartbreaking because when the phone rings and you don't know what they're going to call and tell you, your heart skips a beat and you don't speak to them but whenever they have a free time. So me, I only spoke to my aunt once a month, and I was patiently waiting on that call because you never know. And she did tell me that when she called us one time, one of the buildings right beside where she was staying blew up.
I think he's a lot goofier, and that's just to keep his spirits up. He's a lot more positive about things than he was before he went there. So I think just trying to stay happy and be funny and goof off kind of kept him in good spirits.
Well, there's always issues with soldiers returning from war, so it'd just be like, you never know until it happens. You'd have to wait and see.
No, he came back home and he was basically the same old man he was when he left.
PTSD, or post-traumatic stress syndrome, is a fear that all soldiers encounter while off to war. The military are doing many things to change this, and war simulators are one of the things that they are trying. The U.S. has about 2.5 million soldiers in Iraq and the Afghanistan war, and an estimated 300,000 have been diagnosed with PTSD. War simulators are being used by the military to mentally prepare and test soldiers for the stressful conditions that they could face during war. Through war simulators and further research into the brain, the United States military and its funding hopes to consume prevent PTSD. Most families go through one big obstacle while having a family member or spouse away during their leave. I had each interviewee give me an example of the main fear they felt while leaving, and here are some of them here.
Fear.
Terror. Alone.
Spiritual, we all knew that God had his back.